Hello, this is Victor at RestoreYourMercedes.com. This video is for Swami in Texas, and this is going to be a little quick video just to show what has been done. So, okay, Swami, so this is your iron harness. This is the lower harness from a 1992 Mercedes S-Class. I believe it was 400 SEL, but S-Class will be the same pretty much. I mean, this is the lower harness that goes to starter, alternator, oil pressure sensor, and oil level sensor as well. Now, Swami, so the harness came, as you remember, in very poor shape, so the wires were like all over the place. It was terrible. So at this point I wrapped them all up. I put new wires in, of course. These wires also wrap the main wires as well, just in case. The oil level sensor here, the boot was replaced because this thing was pretty much messed up. Now, some original sheeting was also preserved, not all of it, but some of it. This is your okay, so let's just go in order. So this is your oil pressure sensor. So the plugs seem to be replaced. I mean, somebody replaced the plug, it appears, the actual connector housing, but the wires, of course, as you remember, they were not replaced. They were horrible. So that's that. So we have this one done. This is oil level sensor, of course. This one, I just put in a new rubber boot here. You got the alternator wire, and this is the alternator main, positive. So this is to activate alternator. And this is to just basically feed juice from the alternator into the battery. There is this intermediate bracket. I just put it back on the harness. Just have to figure out where exactly it was on the loom, because I had 0 reference points when it came. It's like the wires were all over the place, but I made it to my best ability to trace them back. For example, this is your starter. There is a cover here for the starter, and this is the starter solenoid wire. So it has a little groove here, as you can see, like right over here. This is where wire sits. So this goes onto the starter motor. This one goes to starter solenoid. So I left you some room, and the only location that I basically tied up 2 harnesses together is in this area right here. So if by any means you need to move the wires, let's say you need, because again, due to no reference points available, I just basically put it up to, again, to best of my ability based on my previous experience where these wires should end up. And at this point, it's one-hand operation, so it's difficult. Like, this is original sheeting that was cut open, but it doesn't really matter. It just holds them together a little bit better, so I just left it. Okay, so let me try to sort of show what I mean. But with one hand, it's a little difficult, actually. So, okay. So as you can see in this area right here, you got the tape that connects this harness to this harness, right? So if you need to move these wires in and out a little bit more, just so they make it to their destination, most likely you won't have to, but still, then you can just cut the tape here, and then this wiring harness is going to slide in and out. So it's going to be, it can just extend more or less. It's right now I made it so kind of in a close proximity where this is supposed to be. This is your main connector, and this is where the main positive terminal connects. That's on the bottom of the vehicle. So this is basically where they usually end up. They end up close to each other, but there is a little bit of a distance. So to me, this is the best judgment where these wires and how long they're all supposed to be. Again, for the starter solenoid, you have this cover for the starter solenoid. You have this little tab over here that the starter solenoid wires should sit in. So you just push it in there like that, and basically that's how it goes. Obviously, once you start installing it, then you will figure this out the way you want it to be. And these wires usually make it anyhow. There are some slacks on them built in from the factory, so there is a little bit of slack here and there. So I'm sure these are gonna be just fine. So a couple of sheetings here, they were all cut off, so I just not gonna even install them because the wires are rewrapped right now. with my tape, so the way I would like to have them done. Okay, so again, this is basically going to be all. Obviously, wires were checked from each and every pin. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the numbers here on pins, so they correspond to certain connectors. So obviously they were all traced and everything is proper. And I do want it to time anyway, just to minimize any errors and to minimize errors that can be found in schematic diagrams themselves, because they can be sometimes not as accurate as you want them to be. So and this is it basically. Again, this is a little choppy video. It's on my bench, so I don't have really much space to just lay it down and just show it, but this is the idea. Lower harness as class, done and ready to be mailed back. Alright, so this is all. This is Victor at RestoreMercedes.com. Thank you for watching.